Hi Flosstube, my name is Alyssa Jones and this is my 20-second Flosstube video. Flosstube, for those who may not know, is a corner of YouTube where we talk about cross stitch. I do not know if this is going to work because it appears to keep freezing. See if it can catch up. Does see if this works any better. I don't know why, I just updated my device and it doesn't seem to want to keep up. Maybe going live is too hard for it. This was my lazy attempt to not have to edit. I don't know, is it working at all? I know there's three people watching. Anybody? Any feedback? Alright, I'm just gonna go for it. I was trying to not edit because it's a really nice day here in upstate New York. It's in the high 50s, the sun's shining, and I kind of want to get outside and go for a walk. And, oh hey Marty, it's good to see you. And so I'm just going to kind of go through this because otherwise it may not happen. I did not get as much February stitching done as I had hoped to do. I got kind of sick. I got the flu, and that wasn't super fun. And then I also fell on ice, and I had hurt my hip, and it's just been rough. So, not as much progress as I had hoped by this point in February, and I also didn't film when I thought I was going to. So, I'm going to start by going through my whips. I have no finishes. I got nothing fully finished. Oh, I do have a knitting finish. That doesn't really count, but it happened. So, I'm going to start with this one. See how this goes. I'm kind of excited to not have to edit. So this one is my work project that I work on at lunchtime, and it's called Let's Talk Winter by Hands On Design. And I've been working on it forever, and it's really getting close to done. So I only have the bottom corner really left, and those little quilts at the bottom. It's coming along. Almost there. I kind of hoped I'd pick it up this weekend, and then I didn't. I'm going through a terrible phase where I'm watching a lot of cleaning videos on TikTok. It's a real time waster. I do not get as much stuff done. But I did super clean my pantry today, so thanks, Marty. This is your evening time, isn't it? I caught you before you went to sleep. Then I also started my Owl Forest embroidery forget-me-not snail house, which I'm stitching along with Joe from Blue She Stitches and Emma from Emma X Stitching, and they're really terrible influences. I wasn't going to order the next snail houses, but then I watched Emma's video, and they had started the next set, because first Owl Forest, they released 3, and then they released 3 more. And so I wasn't going to get the next 3, but I ordered them. But my Forget-Me-Not snail house is started. I meant to work on it Saturday, and it just didn't quite happen. But I think it's off to a good start. So probably a few more Saturdays, and this one will be done, and maybe by then my new kits will have arrived, and I can start the next one. But they are really cute to stitch. Fun, great colors. Love Owl Forest's blending. Let's see. I've also started and worked on my February calendar crates by Stitching with the Housewives. These I'm stitching on 32 count black linen, and they have so much cat fur on them. It's kind of impressive. So I started and finished the small, which said roses are red. And then, that has a thread on it, that's why it looked weird. And then I also have been working on the big one, and this one is the one I've been working on the most. It was kind of an intense month. All of those roses, it took me a while, and that gingham, I don't know, it's kind of ginghamy or buffalo check border, took a while. And this one's just way more dense feeling. So I'm trying to get these jars done, and then this week will be the inside of the crate. So it's almost done. and then I'll have February done. And I do think I will get that all set and not have to carry that one into next year. That's another one I worked on. My Whip Go projects, the first one I pulled out was Glitter Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I was working on the fifth one, which is the little church. And I thought like, oh, I'll get so much done, and my goal was an hour a day for 5 days, and I did finish the church, and I got a tiny start on 6. Oh, I know, Morty, so much black fabric. And then I have the sparkly one, which I really love working on. Someone did email me questions about how it was to work on, and I don't have trouble seeing this one. Maybe it's because it's a 32 count, but the sparkles really don't bother me at all. I did just order more of it too for the Nutcracker Village, which I think is also Country Cottage Needleworks, but I haven't started that. So sparkly, and I love it. I think I'm going to run out of my sparkly floss that I'm using. A little worried about that. So I thought I'd get further. I did finish all 5 days that I'd hoped to do, and I didn't get any more done, and I promise I won't get more done than that. So then I was working on my year 1 band sampler by Black Needle Society, and there are several problems going on here with this project. I don't love working on it because I'm not getting awesome coverage. I wanted to use 1 strand on a 36 count, and it really wasn't until like the 4th day I worked on it that it kind of hit me that I don't think this linen is what it's labeled. It says it's 36 count winter moon. It's supposed to be really little, right? But my stitches, I feel like, look big. Maybe it's just in my head, but you'll see the coverage is terrible considering it's 1 strand on 36 count. It should be, I think, better. I don't know. It's going, but it's not going great. And hey, Betsy, thanks for stopping in. I missed your live the other night. I'm so sorry about that. But you can see, like, I've had to add some backstitch, and I think I have to backstitch the owl, and I think it's wrong, and I'm also no idea why I'm making myself stitch this on basically a sheet of fabric. Like, why? Why don't I just cut it down? I don't know what to do. So it's going slow, but it's mostly not because of the pattern. It has to do with my linen, my fabric, and all the things going wrong with it. So I have 1 more day to work on it. I kind of hope to get the hat done, but I'm not hopeful. Then my last whip. I'm already at my last whip. This is going so fast. My last whip that I worked on in February so far is the Tree of Magic by Nitka Moscow. Kitted it up, and the pattern is by Barbara Anna. And literally, I just finished the section before I started filming. So I was trying to do a section of tree every month. So this was, I think, November, December, January, and this was my February block. And I'm thrilled with it. It's super fun to stitch. All of this back stitch is an entire stitch too close to the tree trunk, but there was no reason to pull it out. But I'm pretty happy with how that's coming along. And I tried to get a little head start on upcoming sections. So I think this section's probably going to be done before I actually get to that month, just from filling in. You two are funny. So I do have a knitting update, and I actually have my yarn colors with me for a change, so I don't have to make up the colors. So I had been knitting a pair of socks for a while now in this yarn by That Yarn Habit called Bridgerton Diamond of the First Water, and I never get the name right, but I finished my pair of socks yesterday. Aren't they great? And I've been wearing my socks that I've knit, and I love that. It's making winter a little bit more bearable for me. Then I can wear chunky socks. So I finished those, and then I immediately cast on another yarn. Thank you. Another yarn by That Yarn Habit, and it's also from their Bridgerton collection. This was Call Me Simon. I had no idea. I do not, Betsy. I don't have big feet. They just look it. Maybe if I hold it back farther. See, it's like more normal size. Boy, they look huge. You're right. But they fit. So it's kind of knitting up all stripey, which I didn't know if it was going to do that or not. So that's a fun one. And I'm still going with just the Hermione Everyday Sock pattern because now that I've learned that one and don't have to super think about it, I think it works. I have a striped yarn ready to stitch next, so I think I'll go back to vanilla socks for that and just, knit, 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 but these just have a slate pattern. She sure does. She always tells me how it is. Now I have big feet. I have to start buying bigger socks. And I think that's all I've really worked on. I'm not offended, Betsy. It's okay. I don't know if anybody else is planning on doing March Stitchy Madness. I started pulling together my bracket, and by pulling it together, it means I wrote down all of my spring whips that I had used in my bracket last year. And so those are going to be my old whips that I use. And then I will have 8 new starts. So one of them will be my March calendar crates. And then I'll have to come up with 7 more, which I think I want to mostly do like small projects, not these big crazy series that go on forever. So we'll see if I'm able to fill those in before the next one, right? I probably needed 7 new starts. Yep. I mean, I don't have as many works in progress as Stitched Lit by Claire, so I'm probably due for more. I think I'm gonna keep this short. It's too sunny out, and I'm too distracted. I did have a giveaway from my last video. I had this Aurora cross stitch bag that I've gotten in my box from the Black Needle Society. Oh, the Nice List. That's what it was. And I picked a winner earlier, and it was Sharon Mahan. So Sharon, I will comment on your comment and have you email me your address as long as you're 18 or older. If you're not 18 or older, you'll have to have a parent do it. But I have a good feeling that most of the people who watch my channel are 18 or over because that seems to be our general stitching population. And Betsy and Morty, thanks so much for joining me during this, and anybody else who happens to be watching. Appreciate it. And please like, subscribe, and I hope to be back before the end of the month again to go over all of my March Madness plans because that's a lot. That's going to be a lot. I have close to that. I have a lot of whips. I was looking in my whip notebooks, which take up 2 notebooks, so that's a bad sign right there. And I have all of these whips still, and I've gone into the new book. There's a few more. So I have plenty. Some of the ones I have planned for March Madness, though, maybe they'll get done even with just 1 day of stitching. Maybe. Probably not. I was looking at my Whip Go board, and everything on that is pretty ginormous, too. So they're probably not going to get done either. 8's a good number, Morty. That sounds so manageable. I mean, it's something to consider. I just keep starting things, though, because otherwise I won't get to do them all. All right, everyone, I'm going to end this. Thanks so much for coming, and I'll catch up with you soon. Oh, 15's a good number, Betsy. That sounds more manageable, too. I'm going to end up with like 100 by the end of the year. It'll be okay. All right, I'm going to figure out how to end this, and then I'll talk to you guys soon. See you in a couple weeks. Bye. I don't know how to end it. I'm trying. Yeah, okay. Here he goes.